وَأَتِمُّوا الْحَجَّ وَالْعُمْرَةَ لِلَّهِ.
So inshallah, we will embark on this journey. Our niyyah must be purely and sincerely for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When a person leaves their home, we must understand that we are the delegation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This invitation is no ordinary invitation. This is like selected. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is calling you to His house, it has been ordained already. So you must understand that we are truly the guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? We know many instances where people made preparations but couldn't reach there. So we are truly the guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We embrace it as such, that Allah is calling us. There must be something in us that Allah is looking at, that He's having mercy on us for us to be allowed to come to His house and connect with Him, because that's the best place to ever connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So with this mindset, or with this in mind, you have to prepare accordingly. So now already, the preparation should begin in terms of all your acts of ibadat. Right? So you know what you are doing during the day. With regards to salah, with that we're going to add a lot of things into it, like for example the recitation of our Quran. It needs to increase a bit. The adhkar that we are reciting daily, our ma'mulat that we carry out on a daily basis, start to if we haven't inculcated that in our lives, now's the time, bring it in, because wherever you start now, inshallah, this can be maintained for the rest of your life, provided that inshallah we make the correct intentions with it, right? So the idea is to start inculcating all these ibadat, all these acts of ibadat into our lives now, so that when we get there, it doesn't become like just all of a sudden start up something and you find 1-2 days later is, this is enough for me, let's just go and have a cup, and we know how we can while our time away. I'm not saying don't have a cup of tea, no. Don't say the Moulana said no cup of tea. It's not that. It's just about managing yourself and balancing it in such a way that when you get there, this is my time. If I do this after Fajr Salah, I'm going to increase on it. If I do this after Dhuhr Salah, you have a system in your day in terms of how you do things. And now that you won't have work or work-related issues, you'll have more time to do whatever else you want to do. So already plan your day like that. You have like an itinerary where you have it in place to say, look, this is how we're going to plan our day. And I always tell people, sometimes it's very cumbersome on the mind, but if you really plan yourself, if you, for example, you read one juz, one para, right? One juz before the salah, you get there early for the salah, you read one juz before the salah and one juz after the salah, you can finish 10 paras a day. It's 5 salahs, one juz before, one juz after, right? 5 salahs, right? So it's 10, you can finish 10 juz a day. In 3 days you can make a khatam. It's not impossible. Right? It's not impossible. It's just how you're going to plan yourself. So if you make a khatam, for example, every 3 days, let's say you're going for 2 weeks, 3, 6, 9, 12, you can make 4 khatams without even, pushing it. Really, you're not really pushing it. So the idea is that you time yourself. For example, if Fajr Salah is like, I'm just giving an example, is 5 o'clock, right? You can go there, like say, for example, 4 o'clock and start your first para there and stay 1 hour after the Salah also, to finish another juz. It's very, very simple to do that. And then in between, you'll find time for everything. And when we make the time, inshallah, Allah Ta'ala will put barakah in our time, and we find that we will be able to accomplish much more. So we're going to leave home like this, right? So anything that, we owe money or people money, whatever else, try and make arrangements for that. Sometimes maybe it's a large amount, so you don't have to pay everything off. You can make an arrangement, make them understand. Because sometimes what happens is you leave with that, you owe somebody money, and then they're sitting and thinking, hey, where's my money? And then you leave with all their bad du'as. You're going on such a sacred journey, you're polluting it already without even realizing it. So make arrangements, wherever it may be. Sometimes there may have been differences that you had with people, whatever it is, already in your heart. Sometimes it's not possible to always make up, but at the same time in your heart already just remove it. Whatever it is, no animosity, no hatred, whatever, because this is the link that you get here is very different. It's your heart. It deals with you, not your physicality or anything, but your heart. How your heart responds, that's how much Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala infuses in the heart. And you find that, the second thing also is that you'll get that same fuyuz that, not the same, but similar to what Sahaba Ikram had experienced. Now when you're walking on the plains of Medina Munawwara or Makkatul Mukarramah, you feel that vibrancy. It's not just, we're here, it's like, hey, we're doing Umrah, You feel actually the vibrancy of the land because of your heart connecting in that way. So it's a very emotional thing. But may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the ability to actually feel it. So when we leave here, now we're going, right? For example, we will leave, we meet the family at the airport. It just depends which flights you're taking. Most people will be traveling by Ittihad now. I think they got the specials, right? So maybe it's Ittihad or maybe Qatar, right? Either one of these two airlines, the airlines that are giving most of the specials now. In any case, you're going to transit. So if you're going to transit, you'll transit in the country that you're landing in. If you're going with Ittihad, it will be in Abu Dhabi. If you're going with Qatar, it will be in Doha, right? So either one of these two airlines. If somebody's using Egypt Air, which I didn't see any specials here, but if somebody's using it, you'll land in Cairo, and then from there into Medina Munawwara. So therefore, plan for that. So when you are landing in these, sometimes you must look at your itinerary. If your transit is a bit long, you need to plan for that. Look, we're landing at this time, it's Salah time, this is the time we need to eat, or make sure we've got food, we carried our snacks, whatever it may be. Sometimes you may need a pair of clothing, it's in your hand luggage. Make sure all of those things are packed, and then you land in Medina.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك